I'm in Chico, California. This is March 8th, 2014, Saturday. And, I almost didn't make this video today because my mood got affected by this stuff. All this cloudiness today that might look natural, look closer, and you'll see the evidence. All this stuff was man-made, manufactured, sprayed in our atmosphere under the pretext that they're going to save the earth by cooling it, blocking out the sun's rays. See all this milky stuff that's out here? You see all of it. Today would be a perfectly beautiful, bright blue sky day. But these idiots that make me want to vomit, they did this. They did this. And I'm not okay with it, I don't know about you, but I'm just not okay with it. Well, today I wanted to touch briefly on a couple of things. And mainly, I want to try to inspire thought, even provoke thought in people. And try to help you understand just how profoundly, how thoroughly we are all propagandized in our society to believe that it has a rhyme, that it has a reason. And while the cosmos do have rhyme and reason, and the mind of God makes sense, is logical and reasonable, this world system does not. And this entire world system I'm talking about is run on one very powerful form of magic, commonly known as money. And it affects everything we think, say, and do. We're immersed in it. It's foisted on us. We're infected with it. There's not a thing we can do throughout the day where money doesn't come up. And I ask you, why? Why is money so important in this realm when there's not another single creature that has any use for it at all? And I want you to think. Think for yourselves. Understand that what is written in the Bible is very clear, that the money is identified as a competing God with a small g. It competes for God, the true God's affection and attention, which he is only worthy of, giving it to a good and loving God that has no use for money. Prosperity, yes. And, I hear a lot of people talking about the virtues, the pros and cons, let's say, of the prosperity gospel. And while I don't know all the ins and outs of what they're talking about, but I do touch on what Jesus taught. And what he taught is very clear, that the love of money is the root of all evil. So I in no way condone prosperity in that sense. I condone prosperity, but you have to ask yourself, what is prosperity? Is it having plenty of food? Is it having adequate shelter? Is it having adequate fuel for your needs, your energy needs, heating, cooling, driving your vehicle, all this sort of thing? And having the services that you enjoy, perhaps internet and telephone service and water service and that type of thing. But I ask you this, if you just took the money away from this equation, what do you have? You still have a system that's working by virtue of the fact that people are innately desiring to serve one another. It's inherent in us. We are not born to just be self-serving, selfish people. We are born to serve one another, to help one another, to work collectively on projects. Now, people that say, oh, that's hooey, I say, listen, go by a soup kitchen, your local soup kitchen, and see those people having the time of their life serving the poor and needy, okay? Go by a Habitat for Humanity build, you'll see the same thing. So don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I do. I know very well what I'm talking about. Now this brings me to one of the many vices that humanity finds to escape, basically, from reality. The reality that you are born with a burden, known commonly as a cost of living. So simply to live, you are required certain things to do, okay? And one of them is to go out and make money and to play this game. You don't have a choice. You can't say, well, I just don't want to be a part of that thing. Well, see how far you get. See how far you get. You won't eat. You won't have a roof over your head. You won't have gas in your car. You won't have a cell phone. You won't have internet. You won't have a single possession. That's the reality of it, folks. Okay? And of all the many vices we have, smoking, drinking, drugs, gambling, retail therapy, gluttony, various eating disorders, entertainment addictions, pornography addiction, sex addiction. And then I'd like to add another vice, and that is how a lot of people assuage their insecurity, their fear of the system, is workaholism. And these people are bogarting the work for the most part. Because as society progresses in terms of industrialization, automation, mechanization, robotics, all this stuff, it's easier and easier and easier to supply our demands. So there's less and less need for labor, less and less need for work and workers. This is just the way it is. This should be a good thing. This should be a thing that the working class is celebrating. That we have less work and we still have plenty of stuff, in fact, more stuff. So your prosperity should be growing if you had a free market, supply and demand based capitalistic economic system. That's what would happen. Your work week would continually be declining until, man, we just couldn't wait to serve one another. You know, we had a bounce in our steps and a song in our heart, and we were having fun together, doing stuff. Okay, that's how it could be today. There's no reason in the world it can't be like that, except for there's a gaggle of murderous thugs at the very top, control these money printers and their political cohorts, the mainstream media, the education system, all these people. I think these four groups, these are special interest groups that are colluding together to keep us under this false spell, this magic. This form of sorcery, very powerful sorcery. And I would refer to Jesus saying, the kingdom of heaven is within us, where it's in your imagination. Every one of us has the ability to imagine a world where we are born free. Free from what? What is freedom? You're free from somebody telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and for who to do it. I have no problem with taking instruction from people that know something more about a subject than I do. I'm not talking about that in that hierarchy sense. That's fine. That, you know, we ask questions of those that are more knowledgeable, wiser about certain things. That's fine. That's great. That's how you get the job done. This guy is very good at this, and this guy is very good at that, and together they build something that's very good. But it took both of their expertise and specialties to make that very good thing. It wasn't somebody doing it on their own. So I ask you, can you imagine a world without money? And how that would work? Because I can imagine a world without money, because I have asked God for the understanding. How would that work? Help me understand how we would get over this obstacle or this problem here. And he reveals it to me, how it would work. And the way it would work, folks, is very simple. Okay? To start with, you're born with an understanding, not by the decree of me or any other man out there, but by understanding that this planet belongs to you as much as to me and everybody else out there. It's ours. It's not just yours, it's not just mine, and it's not just the Rothschilds clan and the Rockefeller class, okay? It's all of ours. So all that infrastructure that's been built, that belongs to all of us as well. All the bridges and the superhighways and all the buildings. Most of the people that built that stuff are dead and gone. Those are our predecessors. So it's our inheritance. It's the accumulated wealth of the nations. And then you get into the resources, which belong to all of us equally. So you must understand that you were born rich. And so that's the true reality. Don't buy into the reality that you've been told is reality, that this is what makes sense. You go get a great education so you can get a great job and make a lot of money and pay your taxes and support the beast system and go on your merry way and just suck it up when you, go along to get along. And when you see something bad, turn your head the other way. Put your head in the sand. Ignorance is bliss. That's what you're told, right? Don't dig too deep. Don't question the mainstream media. Don't question your professors in college, okay? Don't question the banksters. Don't question the politicians. Just believe that you've got to have infinite war. You've got to have crime. You've got to have poverty. Well, you've been lied to, okay? And I'm not saying tomorrow that all of a sudden worldwide, reality is going to be realized where we're all set free and you're born understanding that you're rich. You have as much right to share in the wealth of this planet as anybody else. No. I'm telling you right here and now, we could do it gradually with sound currency. And I see so many brilliant people out there talking about this and that and getting hung up on minutia and whatnot. And I say, make one demand of the politicians, one demand of the banksters, one demand of the college professors, one demand of the mainstream media. We want sound currency. We want our problems fixed. That simple. War caused by economic tyranny because one group wants to subjugate another. How do they subjugate another? Economically, financially. Okay? That's how it's done. And that makes people very angry and they don't like it and they revolt and they rebel. Some people sooner than others because of their historical, the historical context of their culture. You try to pull this stuff in the Middle East, man, the price of wheat goes up. Man, they're having a bloody revolution in the streets. I don't know what's happened here in America or what's going on in Mexico, okay, and all over the world. I don't know what the hell happened to China, okay? But people got to nip it at the bud. You got to say, no, no more. No, we're tired of our money being worth less tomorrow than today because of you foisting unsound currency on us, knowing that's against every precept of capitalism, every precept of free market supply and demand. It has no semblance of capitalism. None. None at all. And how do you get sound currency? It's very simple. You have checks and balances. You have accountability. Okay? You don't accept inflation of your cost of living and the debasement of your currency. That proves unsound currency. You say, show me a shortage. You say, I'm going to call your bluff. Let's go to rationing. Okay? You want to just raise the price of gas? Okay, no special deals for the haves. That's discrimination. Let's go to rationing. Okay, that's what we do. If we're destroying the planet by burning fossil fuels and creating CO2, which is the most absurdest thing I've ever heard in my life, when Mother Nature spews this stuff out through volcanoes and forest fires and other sundry ways, no, I'm not buying it. Call their bluff. Call their bluff. And say, on the immigration issue, okay, we're shutting down immigration in this town. Nobody comes to this town until we solve our problems. Don't you call me mean. Don't you tell me I'm not a humanitarian. I'm sick and tired of hearing of my brothers and sisters dying in the bushes, getting their head kicked in by some thug. Yeah, I'm angry. You're right, I'm angry. And I